Hello everyone, Sinow here, your new home for everything Resident Evil Resistance, and today I am bringing you a mine and gun focused Alex build, which is a big deal for me because I really hate playing mine builds for Alex, and I'll explain why in a minute, but I am bringing you a mine and gun focused Alex build that I'm calling Time Attack Alex. This build is purely designed to get rid of as much time as possible from survivors, whilst giving them as little chances to get back time from you as possible. So the reason why I don't like playing mine builds in Alex is after they nerfed it, it used to be that if multiple mines blew up in a survivor's face, they would lose 5 seconds per mine that blew up on them. So if 3 mines blew up at the same time on one survivor, it would be minus 15 seconds. They have now, a little while back, they nerfed this, so now I'll call it an explosion event. For every explosion event that happens, the survivor only loses 5 seconds total. So if 4 mines explode in the same kind of like chain all at once, it only takes off 5 seconds total now, rather than 5 seconds per mine. And the reason why I don't like mine focused builds for Alex is because that is like not a lot of time that you take off from survivors. If they shoot out a mine, survivors still get 10 seconds per mine, and if they manage to blow up multiple mines with a grenade, they get 10 seconds for all of the mines each, so it's like you can easily feed them 40-50 seconds if you're not careful. And another reason I don't like playing mine builds with Alex is traditionally you put lots of mines behind a door, you blow up the survivors, and now that survivors are a lot stronger, there's a lot more spray plays going around, there's a lot more Dr. Tyrones going around, you can't keep up the pressure on down survivors as easily as you could before, and this is like a really big part of how mine builds used to work. You would down 1 or 2 survivors and then make it so that they couldn't really pick them up easily. So I was thinking to myself, how can I make a mine build that avoids some of the issues that I have currently with the way that mines work in the game? And I've managed to come up with a way of using them. A lot of this build is more like a kind of mindset adjustment than it is necessarily just different cards. So the way that you want to play this deck is you want to keep spawning a mine kind of underneath the survivors or close to them, blowing it up immediately, taking off 5 seconds, and then just doing that over and over and over. You're basically making your mines function similarly to an infection cough, where you constantly are just chipping away at their time, chip, 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 and you're taking off 5 seconds, plus you're doing a little bit of damage, and that's all you want to do with the mines. You don't need to do these massive explosions behind doors that are sometimes susceptible to being blown up with grenades or whatever. Obviously, if you can down survivors, it's still not a bad thing in general, but you are just chipping away at their time. And of course, if you catch more than 1 survivor with a mine, it takes off 5 seconds per survivor caught. So if you can put a tracker mine down near like a cluster of survivors and blow it up really quickly, you can hit 3 of them and take off 15 seconds. Just keep eroding their time as much as you can with this build, and that's how you win. Let me show you how I make it. So, first of all, we're using Verdant for Yativeo. You can still waste a fair amount of time if you manage to place Yativeo in a location where the survivors like just have to kind of wait you out at the very least. If you prefer explosive, you can go for that as well. Yativeo sometimes doesn't really work out, but I still prefer Verdant overall. It's up to you, this isn't integral to the build, but if they're infected and then you put down Yativeo in a location where they have to wait you out, it can drain quite a lot of time, which is nice. We're using Amplify because I'm using, for this deck, I'm using Virus Mine, and I'm using a preset, the classic preset that every Mastermind should at least have one of, which by my reckoning anyway, which is Infectious Zombies Behind Doors. This is like a classic preset. Every Mastermind, I think, should have at least one preset that is like Infectious Zombies, Tough Infectious Zombies, whatever, behind doors, because it's just so useful to put some infection down on survivors. It really, really is. And obviously with Amplify, we can do that a lot easier without having to use viral canisters. So that's good. Thanks, Alex. We have Trap Efficiency to make our trap cards cost a little bit less. I'll discuss more about the economy in a minute. We have Virus Mine that now only costs 2 for us. This is really nice because you can put it down and then blow it up really quickly. Minus 5 seconds per survivor caught, plus they start to cough if they don't use a blue herb. Obviously that helps for eroding time. Jester Camouflaged, I didn't really have a lot of choice here. It's not the worst thing in the world. If it screams, you can start putting mines down or like blowing up survivors, shooting them, whatever. But be careful because this does feed 10 seconds per Jester that they take out. So obviously you need to be very careful. Here is the equipment we're using for this deck. A lot of you now are like, what? A lot of the pros just looked at the screen and are like, what is this? This is weird, but bear with me on this one. Miniature reactor so that we can actually play some cards this millennia without our bones turning to dust while we have to wait for energy on Alex. We are using Inductor 2 and 3. So this allows you to put a mine down and have it become active very quickly. You can't put a mine down in front of a survivor. Well, you can't put a mine down under a survivor who's running full speed and doesn't stop and have it blow up on them. But you can put it a little bit ahead of them, or any survivor who's like not moving at full speed at the time, you can put it near them. And chances are it will become active so quickly that the survivors don't really have time to react to it. And that's one of the big things about this build, is that we're minimizing the amount of time that you're feeding survivors with mines that don't work out by making it so they become active really quickly and then that they blow up really quickly. And then for the final piece of equip, we're actually using electric cable 3. Optical fiber cable isn't fast enough. You don't have instant mines with that. You have to use cable 3, I think. Maybe 2 with the Red Queen mod? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's 3. Anyway, it's unfortunate the inductors take up so much space as well as the miniature reactor that we have a couple of points left over, but this is just what we need to do with the build, quite frankly. So it's not the end of the world that we have a couple of points left over. There we go. Can't really do anything about that. And finally, here are the cards that we're using in the deck. We're using Landmine, Tracker Mine, Clone, which we can use to do more mines or more guns. We're using Air Cannon. We're using Electromagnetic Shield. I'm not 100% sure about this yet. You do get shut down quite badly if they take out your cameras a lot, so I find that this helps, particularly when you get a bit more energy in areas 2 and 3. You might prefer Lockdown Trap, but remember you can't blow up Lockdown Trap on command, so if they take it out they'll get time back. Be careful with this one. Also, it doesn't work very well on area 3 for a couple of the maps, but you can change Shield if you prefer. But I find against like slightly harder groups, Shield is a nice choice. We have Machine Gun. It still applies a lot of pressure. If you goo them, you can still do quite a lot of shots, or if they're like recovering from the animation for this, it's still a very good card. Red Queen mod, so you can blow up mines immediately. Efficiency mod firearms. So the reason why we're not using efficiency mod traps is this costs 1, so you can't make it cheaper. This costs 1 with our passive, so you can't make that cheaper either. So basically, Clone, Highly Explosive Landmine, and Virus Mine are the 3 cards in this deck that could potentially be influenced by efficiency mod guns, sorry. No, traps. Sorry. Excuse me. Whereas with efficiency mod firearms, Air Cannon, Machine Gun, Mobilizing Rounds, and then if you decide to clone them, that's 4 potential cards that are already quite expensive for Alex that are being reduced by this efficiency mod, and you will use them quite frequently to erode time from survivors. So actually, overall, I think efficiency mod firearms is the way to go for this deck. Then we have Mobilizing Rounds, like I said, and Highly Explosive Landmines. You could do a funny thing with this. Because of the inductors, your mines appear so quickly that if you blow someone up with a Highly Explosive Landmine and they get flung across the map, you can go to where they've been thrown to, spawn a landmine, and then blow it up before the survivor stands up again. And the explosion animation will be the Highly Explosive Landmine one again, not just the normal landmine explosion. So basically you can like throw them across the map, put another mine down, and it'll throw them again, even if it's only just a normal landmine. It's weird why this happens sometimes. I think it's a bug, but it's really funny if you manage to like throw a Samuel around with it. And I hope I could show you some of that in the footage, because I didn't know this was a thing in the game, and it's really fun to do this if you manage to pull it off. And also, they can't respond to you because they're too busy like picking themselves up off the floor. So give that a shot. That's because of the inductors, thankfully. No landmine damage increase or anything. Remember, chip, 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 get rid of their time. That's how we play this deck, and I'm going to show you it in action, and hopefully you have some fun playing this build for yourself. This has been Sinow anyway, regardless, and thank you for watching. Let's take a look. Alright, so we have... the January could be quite annoying here. And the Valerie, if we do get lucky and we down some survivors, the Valerie will probably be a real pain in the ass here. But fingers crossed. I am playing on PC at the moment. So there's an annoying thing that happens for me where a lot of my prime time, the survivors are kind of, they're not the best. And then later on at night when I'm not like streaming anymore, all of a sudden the sweaty squads come out. Which I need sweaty squads to like test out my builds and stuff, right? A lot more, but it's difficult. Hey, there's nothing wrong with being new to this game, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying this from a pure science perspective. So let's see. So she's decided to sit down there. There's my first 10 seconds taken off. There's the shield. She's probably going to run past me. Ooh, caught her though. That landmine didn't catch Jill, but that's alright. I'd rather blow up a mine and not give them time and have it hit no one than them get time back.
I prefer something more surgical.
Oh my! Oh, I actually hit somebody with immobilizing. God, I'm so bad with my aim now.
Our eyes made to be torn out.
I wanted to put down some infection, but I think the Becca's too ready for me. Yeah, that's fine. Oh well.
My birds, the cage has found you.
It's a bit of a shame, but there you go. I have to be careful. See what I mean, though? Like a good January will stop you for this build.
Of murder, the relief.
That's why I'm using the shield.
Soaring ecstasy of shedding another's blood.
So this is the classic kind of Nikolai play here with the gun, where the zombie grab acts as like something that stops them in their place, and that's really helpful for you. Can I actually blow this up? I can. There we go. A little bit of extra time taken off.
It's okay. We can do this.
Oh, I managed to hit them there, but she did get a lot of time back. That maybe wasn't worth
A
it.
sloppy weapon, but it has its uses. Lock engaged.
-5 seconds
I'm
there.
surprised it took you that long.
So
to
even
find.
though
I made that
I'm
one
not really
easy
keeping the
for you.
January on the, sorry, the Valerie on the floor, I don't really care. Just keep losing time. That's all I want. Infection is nice though.
To be torn out
You definitely want to try and infect them
for the same purpose.
if you can.
How did it take you so long to get that?
Managed to hit one of them. Two of them actually. Again. She's in the corner now. That's so like I said, good January will totally annoy you with this build, but regardless, even with a good January,
once so much more exciting if the
this area is difficult because it's really obvious where she's supposed to aim. If they split up for any reason, or I can harass her, it'll get better.
You hadn't made it this far.
But right now I'm struggling a little bit because she is like kind of covering her friends a lot.
Your fate is sealed.
Also, the player base, I find that the player base in general has been kind of trained by Nikolai to be a lot more proactive on cameras. I don't know how that didn't hit. I really don't know how that didn't hit. Some suggestions for potential changes to this build if you're getting frustrated with it. You might want to use Lockdown Trap, but I find that because you can't blow them up on command, you have to be very careful with that. Or you also could use Crawling Zombie, but you are liable to feed time with that. So again, be careful.
Doing it.
Just wasting some time here. Need to get rid of this so that she doesn't shoot it out.
Clever.
Oh, I just keep switching back at like the wrong time. This is a good January.
The bliss of murder.
This is a very good January, actually.
The soaring ecstasy.
Highly explosive.
Shedding another's blood.
Little combo there. Not the combo I was necessarily talking about earlier, but it's nice enough. I want a virus mine if possible here. Don't want to let her blow me up.
The key is yours.
Taking off as much time as I can here while they're all bunched up.
Make the coming terror sweeter.
Not much I can do about that. Ooh, virus mine though. I might be able to block them off at the next key card, perhaps. I've managed to catch Jill unawares.
Wonderful.
Nice. Lock this door.
There's no escape.
I don't know if this tough zombie will survive long enough, but let's see. Oh, she's got a grenade launcher now. That's unfortunate. This January is a real pain. But quite a few of them are infected now. Just take off more time. This is a good challenge though. See if this build's got the chops, do you know what I mean? You could still put landmines behind doors, by the way. It's not like it's forbidden with this build or anything. It is forbidden. No, it's not. But it's just not really our main focus. It's more the point. So I'm going to try and use this just to sort of delay them a bit.
You have the honor of being the first to witness the fruition of a new research project.
If I get a kill, that would be nice. Highly doubt that, though. Still, made them use resources. There you go, whatever. That's a Molotov that she's not going to throw at my mines later, you know?
In the efficacy of the virus. How do you feel?
You can't do this if you're not using Verdant. I have a camera put over there because, not camera, a terminal put over there because there's 2 cameras looking at it, and I was using a Spencer build before that needed that, but I didn't really protect it very well, unfortunately, but you know. Can't protect every single spot on the map all at once, you know. Let's see if I can like put down a mine or 2 and just like tempt them in. Boom, that was a nice little time penalty for them. Ah,
That is unexpected.
way too slow for that combo. Way too slow, Sinow. Get it together. Ooh, I shouldn't have done that, I don't think. But there you go. Nice combo. Lock the door. Virus mine. Virus mine again. Oh no, it was a bit weird.
I will not tolerate any more of that behavior.
That January. What a pain. But look how much time they have. They're running out.
I will hunt and destroy you.
I want to try and infect them again if possible. Gotta be careful here. I really, really don't want to get my camera shot out to give them more time. Oh, I couldn't, I was stuck in the landmine placement. Oh, that's frustrating as hell. So frustrating. Nice. Oh, they're all standing together as well. I'm taking off a lot of time. She'll shoot me out then, no. Can you imagine if I didn't have shield for this? Whew. So I haven't won yet, but I'm getting close. And this is against the girl squad that has a very good January. I think I can win this. I just have to play my cards right and be very careful not to feed them time.
Continue then, but it won't be for much longer.
Also, infection is probably going to be very important for me. So I'm going to try and disrupt them perhaps with a clone. Not clone. Air canister? Nah, they're already shooting at the zombies.
I will crush you.
That's unfortunate. That's why I have some on the stairs though, to give them a false sense of hope. Like, they'll take out 1 or 2 at the door and then probably run out. Maybe should leave them all on the stairs next time though. Note to self, improve your preset. Put down some pressure. Oh, she got grabbed again. Oh, she's down. Very nice. You can actually place mines here. You just have to be very careful with how you aim them. But obviously that's very good for us. So you can still do a little bit of the classic gameplay, right? Where you like make it so they can't pick each other up very easily, which is usually how mine builds work. That's unfortunate.
Bliss of murder.
Okay, she's had to use her ultimate,
The relief, the
which I'll take.
soaring ecstasy.
She got a bit of time back there because she
shedding
blew out the
lover's
mine.
blood.
Camera rotation jammed. I should be able to blow this up. There you go, minus 15 seconds. This January was like sent here to make my life hell. So fair play to you, you're a very good January. Highly explosive mine.
Time will
Hit 2 of
kill
them.
you as certainly as I will.
Highly explosive mine, hit 3 of them. She didn't manage to get onto the elevator. They're down. This is so much more what I wanted from a mine build.
This is your final
And then I'm going to use Yataveo for the finish, just to be cheesy.
Bond now with the virus or die here.
So that's Time Attack Alex, and I hope I've managed to show you that even
Just as I
in
can.
some tough circumstances, it's a pretty good build. Surprisingly works pretty well. It was, a lot of it was just that mindset adjustment of trying not to use mines to do tons of damage all at once. Chip, 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 chip. Managed to win. And I hope you will have some fun trying out the Time Attack Alex build yourself. Regardless, this has been Sinow, bringing you another build guide. Take care, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.